Over to you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Morning. Our Women's Centre has been open since 2013. We're a women-only, non-judgmental, safe place for women experiencing multiple and complex needs who have unmet support needs that can be addressed in a supportive way.
We are responsive to the 9 pathways which are triaged in a comprehensive assessment, looking at critical, current and ongoing needs that are identified regularly in the support plan. The 9 pathways include skills and employment, finance, benefit and debt, abuse, rape and domestic violence, sexual exploitation, housing, attitude, thinking and behaviour, drugs and alcohol, health, children, families and relationships. 72% of the women present with 4 or more of these needs. We deliver intensive one-to-one key working, addressing and supporting women's emotional and practical needs, and provide a safe space. Women can drop in for clothes, use our on-site shower, washing machine, and computers. We deliver group work that allows women to connect with one another and feel less isolated to support healing. We work holistically with women's personal history, current domestic circumstances, and socio-economic situations. We are gender responsive and trauma informed. We have pamper days to support women in just feeling human with hairdressers and nail artists and provide Christmas lunches. We have a creche to allow women to have one-to-one support or to go into group work knowing their child is safe. We deliver outreach support, attending court, GP appointments, turning point, solicitors and social worker meetings, appointments they would be unlikely to attend without this support. We support women attending their court hearings by picking them up, supporting them emotionally in court and writing supporting letters, informing the judge of the work she is currently doing with us, which has helped women to avoid going into prison.
The list that we have here is our engagement, educational and therapeutic groups. So our social groups would be stuff like the lunch club, where women would drop in to have some food. Some women will go all day without food and would rely on lunch club to have a nutritional meal. We also have therapeutic groups. We have a group such as Healing from Trauma or Steps to Healing. This group looks at the types of trauma, the effects of trauma and ways of managing trauma. We work through grounding techniques and support the women through what arises throughout the group. This sets them on a path to healing and managing in a more positive manner. We also have relapse prevention, where we work with women who misuse substances and support them with learning coping mechanisms that are realistic and safe to reduce their drugs and alcohol intake in the hope that they will be abstinent.
We support 750 women a year who present with multiple complex needs. We support with education and employment inclusion, drugs and alcohol, women who have been arrested to support with upcoming court dates, women who are pregnant or have children under 2, women involved in the criminal justice system, where we work very closely with probation to provide wraparound support, and also supporting women coming out of Eastwood Park to ensure their health needs are met in the community. We are currently working with 100 women who are sex working.
So we provide a trauma-informed service. This means that we recognise the trauma and take it into account. We avoid triggering or re-traumatising the woman. We adjust the environment and the behaviour of our workers and the organisation to support the woman's coping capacity. It allows survivors to manage their trauma symptoms successfully so that they're able to access, retain and benefit from the services. We recognise the effects of trauma on staff members and provide means to prevent or minimise these effects. We facilitate healing, recovery and we empower. We provide a warm, safe, calm approach. The building that we work in is clean, there is no chaos and it is very homely. Noise is challenged when one-to-ones are happening and we have a lot of positive signage up and around our building. When we're working with women, we ask what has happened and what do you need. We provide consistency by being there when we say we will. We're a women-only space and we have a creche, so this helps break down any barriers for the women knowing that their children are safe, so they're able to leave them and receive the one-to-one support They also know it's okay to cry. Our women use the centre as their base for appointments, such as probation, so they do not need to use the probation officer. Same as turning point appointments. This reduces the risk of being around perpetrators. We ask such things as, are you okay with us using this room? Where would you like to sit? For example, being closest to the door, or even asking, do you want the door closed? Do you want to go in front of me?
We work with 5 key principles of trauma-informed care. These include safety, and that's physical and emotional, women-only service, eye contact, consistency, explanations, and procedures to report abuse. There's trustworthiness, following through, modelling trust, maintaining appropriate boundaries, consistency, and making tasks clear. Choice, emphasising individual choice and control, informed consent. Collaboration, encourage and value input, acknowledge insights about herself, explain options. We don't do to, we do with. Empowerment, teaching skills, provide tasks where she can succeed, moving from I can't to I can. Delivering these principles allows us to work with women to break free from trauma and addiction and to work towards fulfilling their potential. When making eye contact, we make that woman feel connected. Boundaries are healthy. They may not have experienced healthy boundaries before, and trust is built from those conversations. Choice, because we do not force, and working in collaboration builds the confidence and empowers them to believe in themselves by feeding back what we see and their achievements.
So we have an example of Nora's life. Nora is a woman who had a traumatic childhood, growing up in a strict household where she was physically assaulted if she was to cry. She was sexually abused by different abusers at the age of 10 years old, and she can remember having at least 6 abortions before she was 16. She lost both of her parents before she was 18, resulting in her becoming the sole carer for her siblings. She describes these years as someone who was broken or dead. She began misusing drugs and became involved in sex work. She was homeless for long periods of time. And when we supported Nora, she then describes us as never giving up on her. We believed in her when she didn't, and we were her lifeline. She's looked forward to seeing us as it was the only human interaction she experienced. She said we were the first to ask her, what has happened to you, rather than what is wrong with you. And we were the first people she told about her trauma. One thing she respected was eye contact. We were the opposite of addiction. We visited her in prison and remained consistent and provided her with clothing, food, and essentials when she had nothing. We walked alongside her on this journey and continue to walk alongside her. She is nearly 3 years clean and has a second chance at life where she feels she has a purpose. She is now hopeful and thirsty for life and puts her recovery first. Nora is able to love herself and has found laughter again.
We always believe in the possibility of change.
And in terms of how you can help, we need your voice to spread the word. Tell your friends and associates about us. Visit us. We need your time. So if we have anyone that can volunteer for us, practical help is always appreciated. We're always in need of resources, which include mobile phones, new and used, laptops and tablets, office furniture and recycling. We also rely on donations. We have Charity of the Year partnerships and mutual benefit ideas and campaigns.
Thank you. If you do have any questions that we are not able to answer in this session, you do have the contact details for the centre manager on the screen there. But yeah, we would, if we have got time, to take some questions.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much. Fantastic presentation. Any questions? There certainly was a lot to take in. Any questions? Robin, please.
How has COVID affected your service?
Yeah, so obviously COVID was a shock, I can imagine, for everyone on this chat. We basically were working from home and we just had to be really creative. So obviously the women definitely thrive more with face-to-face appointments, but we were still working throughout COVID. We were using telephone and we're trying to be creative using online forums if women had access to that. So things like Microsoft Teams or Zoom or WhatsApp video calls. And also with our groups, we just put those groups online. So we were delivering them online rather than face to face.
Thanks for that. Any more questions? One of the things I coordinate as part of my role is the Swindon Equality Coalition, and I do wonder whether equality for women, you know, in the broader sense, has kind of fallen off the agenda somewhat, and that affects the work that you do. I don't know if you've got any thoughts on that. Hello? Rainier? Are you there, Rainier? And Siobhan? Oh. Well, I think we seem to have lost Rainier and Siobhan. Which is a shame. Okay. Can anyone hear me? Rachel from my team, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, thanks. So, well, I'm going to say a big thank you to Rainier and Siobhan. Thanks for that presentation, and I'll leave my penetrating question hanging in the air.